It's new music time. Hello everybody, welcome back to Meddling in Antiquity. My name is Teray, and today we're going to be talking about British singer-songwriter Kier. To start off, I want to talk about how I found Kier, because it's an interesting story that kind of sparked essentially a love of this really cool indie, I guess you'd call him, just because he's not very well known yet, artist. So my first exposure to Kier was, weirdly enough, through a Stranger Things fan-made music video that someone created using one of his songs. And initially I had no idea who this artist was, but there was something about the song that kept drawing me back to the video, and I kept going back to it just to hear the music. So I pulled up the artist, and I ended up finding all of his music on Spotify, and I fell in love with everything about it. How the sound, the lyrics, the production, everything about it is absolutely incredible, and I really love all of his music. I own all of his music that he's put out so far. He's absolutely incredible artist. But yeah, he's absolutely amazing. I do recommend checking him out. The title of this video is actually a reference to what he calls his fans. He does call us all Goth Salads if you go check out his Facebook page. But I want to get into kind of the order of his songs, and I'll talk about when the year it came out, and then I will go into my first impressions and what I think about the music. Let's get into it. Keir's first EP type thing came out in 2016. So he hasn't been making music, at least releasing it publicly for streaming and purchase, for very long. However, starting from the very beginning in 2016, we have the self-titled EP, or at least that's what I'm going to call it just for simplicity's sake, which had 2 songs on it, and those are Probably and I Don't Need Anybody Else. I really like Probably because it's a bit of a slower song. It's really essentially, he tends to bounce around in how he plays with melody and all of that, and I really enjoy that because you can hear that a lot in Probably. And then I also really enjoy I Don't Need Anybody Else. That's actually one of my favorites of all of his music. It's a much faster paced song. It's really upbeat, but you can hear so much in the lyrics, and he has such an incredible voice, and it's just really cool to hear him do these really awesome things with it in all of his music. But I Don't Need Anybody Else, that's one of the ones where you can really hear how dynamic and how incredible his range is. Moving on to 2017, we have the first song I ever heard from him, which is Squeeze Me, and remains to this day probably my favorite one. It's an incredible song. The lyrics are amazing. I think it also has some of my favorite lyrical things about it. I think fire in the beast if I move slowly, and I'll never get out of the way. Just everything about that particular song is absolutely incredible. And I was in a live stream several months back, right after quarantine started, and he performed it acoustically on that live stream, and it was really cool to hear him do it in a different way. It was really incredible because it shows exactly how well he knows his own material and how well he knows these songs and how intimately familiar he is with his own writing, and I thought that was really cool to hear. Going into 2018, we have the single Night and Day, which is also really incredible. I believe that is also the same year he released his single Sad Boy, which I am desperate to do drag to one day. Sad Boy is another one of my kind of top 3. It's a really beautiful song. It gives me very much gives me Ezra Miller's Playboy Shoot vibes, just because of the lyrics and how the song kind of paces itself. Night and Day is kind of similar to Probably in that it's more slow, but Night and Day feels almost more it has more of a rap rhythm to it than anything, and I thought that was really cool that he can play in all of these, this genre, the genre sandbox, and kind of pull these really cool elements out of all these different little places and mix them all together. Next we have, going into his newer stuff, we have Shiver, which was released late 2019, which is really incredible. It's a really good song. Like, pretty much I can't really say anything negative about his music because it's all just really good. I love all of his music, but he is really just amazing when it comes to the lyrics he writes and how he decides to pace the songs. So Shiver is a really good one. It's a newer one and I really like it. I'm really liking a lot of his newer stuff, kind of just off of the top of my head. It's just really incredible. And then earlier this year, he released his single Live This Way, and that one is also really amazing. And that one kind of really is more, there's more body to that one, I think. There's a lot of emotion in it. There's a lot of emotion in all of them, but I really felt it in Live This Way. And then his newest one, Rose, I actually just listened to for the first time this morning, and I absolutely loved it. A lot of his songs tend to be pretty short, but Rose is one of those ones that's about 2.5-ish minutes, but it blew me away just from beginning to end. Like, honestly, for most of his music, as soon as he starts singing, I'm kind of just automatically pulled into what he's trying to tell me the message of that song is. And it's really, honestly, I adore listening to anything that he does. But Rose pulled me in just really, really quickly, and I absolutely adore that song. And then I immediately purchased it because I feel the need to have all of his music in one place so I can listen to it whenever I just need to vibe with a really powerful, incredible voice. He's also released the Rose EP, which contains the newest 3 songs, Rose, Shiver, and Live This Way. That's kind of, this is going to be a far shorter video than any of my music videos have been so far, just because there's not really much that he's released yet. But I do really highly recommend checking him out. He's an incredible artist. And that's kind of my breakdown of all of the music he's released so far. So let's get into final thoughts. Like I mentioned, this is going to be a much shorter market music video than normal, just because the songs that I listed are the only songs that are available to purchase or to stream right now. But I will say this, Kier is an absolutely incredible artist with such a powerful voice and incredible range, and as a musician myself, keeping an eye on him kind of just consistently, definitely as soon as I can start making and producing my own music, he is someone I 100% want to work with eventually, because he is absolutely incredible, and I'm just so in awe of all the music he's released so far, and he's amazing. I highly 100% recommend checking him out. Kier, spelled Keir. All of his music is available to listen to on YouTube, stream on YouTube Music, purchase on iTunes, stream on Apple Music, and stream on Spotify. Check out his music. He is incredible and amazingly talented, and I'm really happy that I discovered his music when I did, because I've been able to kind of track everything that he's done since 2018 onward, and it's been a really cool experience to listen to the new stuff he puts out. That wraps us up for this episode of Market Music, and I will see everybody, barring any life-shattering deaths, etc. from the rest of the world, on Saturday for Serial Scrutiny. Bye!